Hey guys, how to get a black thing here, and I'm about to give you what I like to call a double dosage because I haven't done my review for the latest Hunter x Hunter episode, so I have to get through that and get that done. But I'm also gonna give you my daily, anime bullshit because I told you I was gonna bring it back, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. But let's start off with this Hunter x Hunter. So in this episode, you basically got what you always wanted. Netero and Miriam actually faced off. They actually concluded it in one episode. I think that was kind of dope. Even though it's not seriously concluded, that is a spoiler. But they concluded it. You know what I mean? So Netero and Miriam did fight. What happened was, they was going through like their whole little stages of kicking each other's ass. But Miriam actually showed respect to Netero once again, actually acknowledging him and admiring him, even though he was trying to kill him. They're enemies. You know what I mean? So big major thing that happens first is, Netero unleashes these like dope ass, nasty, destructional attacks, and they're not scratching his pussy. Like he's not taking any damage. So what does he do next? He cuts Netero's arm off. Yep, Netero loses one of his physical arms, not his nen arms, and that doesn't cause Netero to stop his nen ability. The whole Buddhist shit. But Netero makes this dope ass comment. He's like, "Do you think I can't pray without? You think I can only pray with? I can't pray without one arm." Basically, that's what he said. Sorry for the fuck up, but I thought it was dope. And then after that, he unleashes his attack called the Zero Hand, which was like a blast from the mouth. Yeah, it was kind of weird, but it was dope as hell. And then he finally landed a scratch on him. But at the very end of that, Netero gets his ass kicked again, and then Netero tells him it's not over. I'm about to unleash my final attack, which is he pierces his finger through his heart because he had a bomb physically implanted in his heart, which will cause mass destruction. It's called some miniature type rose type shit, and basically they both get eradicated in an explosion. That's the end of the episode. That was a quick ass review. Now let's get into my anime bullshit. Today I had a large amount of, well, not a large amount of stupidity, hell yeah, but not a lot of anime bullshit. So I might just drop another one tomorrow because I know some bullshit's gonna go down tomorrow. It's Friday. It seems like every Friday we talk about anime or video games that are anime based, and somebody makes up some bullshit. Well, let's start off with One Piece. Today, I seen the latest One Piece episode, and I realized we finally get Netero beating Miriam, but that's in Hunter x Hunter. How long is it going to take for Block C to start a goddamn match? I'm telling you. Like, I just want to see Luffy, elephant gun the shit out of all those niggas. Because they're not going to, really stand a chance. Except for, the Garp enemy type nigga. The big-ass grandpa looking ass nigga. He definitely going to do some damage, you feel me? Because that's what he about. But, really, when are they going to start? So, even though this next thing I'm about to bring up is not really, anime, it involves dope-ass shit. Let's talk about some video games for a second. I don't know if anybody know, but I'm a big ass fan of Kingdom Hearts, and KH3 is dropping this year. After I found that out, thank God to Amazon, because they announced shit early as fuck. But yeah, KH3 dropped this year. So a fellow classmate of mine tells me that there's going to be characters from FF13 in it, and I'm like, okay, but he told me that Lightning is going to be inside Twilight Town. If that is true, I haven't done my facts yet. That's what I'm saying. If that is true, that does not sound dope at all. Why would you put Lightning in Twilight Town where she would only be battling like Heartless and shit? Why wouldn't you put Lightning in Hollow Bastion? So when I made that comment, because if you put Lightning in Hollow Bastion, or should I say Radiant Garden, is where all the main action happens. She'll be fighting Heartless, nobody shit. She might even face up against the Organization 13 out of nowhere. Those motherfuckers like to pop out of nowhere, Excellent and shit. But yeah, off of that. So I tell this buddy that's how I feel about it, and automatically he throws shade at me saying, "Oh, you're not a real, Lightning fan. You're not a real Final Fantasy fan. How is that not dope?" And I'm like, okay, guy, you're sitting here talking to me about a video game that I had 1 year ahead of you on, because I was born 1 year earlier than you. But a game that I grew to love, Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy. They're both made by the characters. And then it branches off into that, and he talks about the best Final Fantasy game was the one that had Zidane in it, which is Final Fantasy number 9. And I was like, here we go. One of those Final Fantasy fanboys that only like Final Fantasy because they played number 9 and Zidane was in it with his little 2 daggers. So when I started bringing up stuff about Zidane's breaker, oh, that's not true. I'm like, okay, look it up. He was like, oh, now I remember. Yeah, because I like proving niggas wrong. I think they know they shit, but they really don't. But after that, next thing you know, he's saying, oh, what's a better Final Fantasy game than number 9? I'm like, 10? Every other game is better than 9? Like, 9's not the best. Like, come on. Everybody knows, like, alright, the fake fanboys are going to be like, oh, 7 was the best. Alright, which 7? And they'll be like, there's only 1. No, it's 3. Everybody know that. Technically, there's a 4th one that never been released to the U.S. But there's 3. Okay? You get that? Anybody know that now? You know now. It's Dirge of Cerberus, Crisis Core, and the regular Final Fantasy 7, which was on PlayStation 1. Yes. But then we get into an argument about, oh, Zack gave Cloud the sword, which is true in one of the stories, because in another story, Cloud retrieves the sword from Aerith, who didn't die in that story, because Zack died before she did, and she gave it to Cloud, knowing that Cloud was his close friend, little mentor. He was a mentor. Zack was a mentor to Cloud, and like, you know, he was a little buddy and shit. And said, I think you should have this, and this is his memento to you. And so there's 2 different stories to that, if not a lot of people knew. But next thing, back to the Zidane shit, because apparently the best Final Fantasy character is Zidane, and I was like, okay. He's like, oh, who's better than Zidane? I'm like, Vincent Valentine. He's like, there's no character called Vincent Valentine. I was like, okay, you're trying to tell me you played all Final Fantasy and you never seen Vincent Valentine. First off, he was a big main character in the original 7 that you said you beat multiple times. I don't believe you now. Second off, they gave him his own game. That's how you can tell he's the shit. They gave him a game that was titled under 7. He's the only character other than Cloud to have his own game titled under 7. Final Fantasy 7. Yep, Dirge of Cerberus, guys. The shit. My favorite Final Fantasy 7 ever. Other than, you know, the classic and Crisis Core. They were all dope as hell. All Final Fantasy 7s were dope as hell. I'm not gonna lie. But that one was amazing. And then I bring up Final Fantasy 10 and just completely shut it down. Oh, that was whack. The character was whack. How was the character whack? He went to hell, dog. Like, by the end of that, like, he was fighting his father in hell at one point. Like, how can you talk about a game and not even completely go through it? Oh, well, yeah. And you tell me that you followed the series, you beat all of the games, but you tell me you didn't finish 10 or 10-2? You probably didn't even know there was a 10-2. Oh, you think Final Fantasy 13 was the first one to do the trilogy thing? Nah. No. Because if you want to be serious, the whole trilogy started with 1 through 3. Yep. Because 1, 2, and 3 were just part 1, part 2, part 3. Then they started a totally different story with 4, if I'm correct. If I'm not correct, I'm sorry. But, you know, I just didn't like the fact that this guy was kind of like mouthing off like he was the shit. But you got guys like that every day. You know what I mean? What can you do about it? But I'm going to tell you guys, when I'm watching right now, you might call me like, you know, the classic nerd, or you might say like, oh, that's pretty dope to be watching that after your childhood. I'm rewatching Inuyasha. I'm on like 125 right now. Or 126, whatever episode is after, like 2 episodes after Kikyo gets murdered again. But, yeah. Doing that right now. I'm doing this video right now. I'm drinking this water right now. I'm doing a lot of shit right now. It's Hadake, bitch. You know I'm here. See ya.